Hi guys, a member of Parliament for the governing party on Wednesday during PMQs acted a bit sneaky. Now he asked the Prime Minister a question that was unrelated to his brief, but also he asked a question about Reform UK. Now, perhaps MPs are realising that if the media is not going to hold Nigel Farage and Reform UK to account, they will have to. But this approach is not, well, it's unorthodox. Have a listen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Last week, 4-year-old Eli Tester was killed in Rossendale Cemetery when a memorial stone fell on him. All of Rossendale was shocked by this tragedy, so I hope the Prime Minister will join me in offering our deepest condolences to Eli's parents and family. And Mr. Speaker, families in Rossendale are also deeply concerned about reports that Reform-led Lancashire County Council are considering cuts to nursery funding. This would raise costs for working parents and might even force some nurseries to close. If this is an example of the sort of efficiencies that Reform are considering, then all of Lancashire, indeed all of us, should be worried. So would the Prime Minister join me in asking Lancashire County...
Why are they laughing? Why is Nigel Farage and Richard Tice laughing here? They find it funny that councillors that represent their party are cutting funds for nurseries. Now, Sarah Potchin is not laughing, but Nigel Farage and Richard Tice are laughing about this, which is curious.
County Council to think again.
Prime Minister. Can I extend my deepest condolences to Eli's friends and family? And I do join him in urging the new Reform Council to think again and to change their mind on damaging cuts that hit children and young families. I have to say, my honourable friend is doing a much better job than his predecessor, the Conservative Party chairman under Liz Truss, who has now joined Reform, which proves once again, if you vote Tory, you get Reform, and if you vote Reform, you get the Tories. Whilst both of them are cutting services at home, we support families with free school meals, free breakfast clubs, and extending free childcare.
Okay. Now, why is this a sneaky question? Well, because obviously councils are devolved. They're not part of the government's brief. Well, not the Prime Minister's brief anyway, so you shouldn't really be directing this question at the Prime Minister. If you are interested in dealing with this issue, it should be directed at the Minister or the Secretary of State responsible for councils. But as I said before, if the media is not going to hold Nigel Farage and Reform UK to account, then MPs will have to. And what other way can MPs hold Nigel Farage and Reform to account than asking questions during PMQs? Now, once again, this is not the right approach, but it's the only approach, it seems. Ed Davey was complaining about how Nigel Farage was not being challenged in the media, especially by the BBC, and that needs to change. What is Reform UK doing at the local level? Well, they're claiming that they're cutting waste, but in reality, they're cutting public services. Because as I keep saying, they're a party of the rich for the rich. They don't want to see taxes going to fund services for the poor. So we're getting a taste of what they're going to be like if they get into power. They'll keep saying, oh, we're getting rid of wokeness or diversity officers or flags or stuff like this. But in reality, what they want to do is they want to cut public services. Because the rich don't like to pay taxes and they don't like to see their taxes go to fund services for the poor. But it has to be called out. And if the media is not doing it, then kudos to this MP for doing so. Once again, the approach is unorthodox. He shouldn't really be raising questions about local government with the Prime Minister. But once again, if the media doesn't do it, somebody else has to. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.